Well, hi everybody and welcome to the Mental Toughness and Body Show. My name's Rob Evans and I'm your weight loss coach, health strategist and internationally published author, helping take your mind from where you are right now, your mindset, so important, but taking your mindset, your life, your business, your health, your body from where you are right now to becoming unstoppable. And today's topic is all about uncertainty. And why is that such a flavour of the moment? Well, COVID is just rampant through the world. Where it's affecting me personally right now is in my home state of Victoria, Australia. If you're living on the other side of the world, and our numbers are really insignificant compared to a lot of countries in the world, that my heart goes out to anyone that's touched by this. We all are in some way, whether you get the virus or whether you have a family member or somebody that you know that's impacted by it, or you're an entrepreneur like me and your business has been, very, very badly impacted by this whole pandemic. Our state of Victoria, I live in Melbourne, the state of Victoria has been very hard hit by the virus, and we've been reporting hundreds of cases a day. And like yesterday it was 200, we've been up as high as 588 I think, 200 and something yesterday, and today was 732, something like that. So very, very big number. Our aged care community here is very badly hit, and there's what you would almost consider essential services in the distribution of food and so forth. Those areas have been quite harshly hit as well. So what that means is that we were just over 3 weeks ago said that we would be shut down for 6 weeks. I made a plan at the time, a 90-day plan, because I figured that we were going to be shut down for at least 90 days. My forecast back then, and still is, that we'll be shut down at Christmas time in some capacity, whether we open up again and they'll just shut us down again, because I just don't see that this is a sensible solution to getting on top of it. I don't know what the answer is completely, but this certainly will not work. And they haven't announced just yet, but we're over halfway through. The numbers are getting bigger. They're not growing exponentially, which is good news, but they're also not getting to a position where they'll say, yep, let's just open things up again. It'll just be further and further shutdowns. And there was a further shutdown here regionally today. They've extended it to more people, and now they've declared as of Sunday, everybody in the state must wear a mask or face a fine. And it's not funny, but I just went out just before because I was having problems with my Wi-Fi in loading something. I thought I'll just go for a quick walk down a couple of houses down the road and see if I can get better connection through the towers. And I did, and then I was out and I realised, oh man, I'm not wearing my mask. It's the first time that's happened. So I was only like less than 100 metres away, but I just wasn't used to it. So uncertainty. Let's talk about uncertainty. So COVID is putting everybody in an uncertain situation. I mean, every single day I listen to the press conference to see, okay, is there a further announcement today? What's it going to be extended to? Are they going to impose further shutdowns for me in what I can do in working with people one-on-one? At the moment, I can add in a public park. It may get to the stage where they shut that down as well, and we just have to stay at home and can only go out for certain periods of time during the day. We just don't know. So what I'm doing is making sure that my energy is focused. So I mentioned a couple of days ago, I think, that in the first week of the second shutdown, I found that most of that time is spent communicating with clients, working out, okay, what's the impact, which clients are going to be impacted here, who are continuing to stream online as per first shutdown, who are those new people. And so it's kind of like this. The existing streamers, I know that they will continue, no change. Those people that had come back and only want to go into the studio, they'll probably disappear again, which they did. Those that are new, what are they going to want to do? And it's kind of like I've got to sell them again the benefits of keeping on looking after their health, doing it the way that we're doing it, via in the park and streaming, even though they don't have access to all the equipment, but still being able to do that. That's in the first week. In the second week, I found this time was me probably taking too long to become focused because I was getting frustrated with this new wave and the fact that they said, don't worry, we're shutting you down, but we will look after you in terms of funding, support, etc. They didn't provide any support or funding to me. They made it much tighter, and they were supporting potentially businesses that didn't necessarily need it, as opposed to supporting all of those that do need it. So that frustrated me because I was set for also my best month ever. I then built a bridge and got over that and started focusing on my strategy. And when I drew up my 90-day strategy, that's created some laser-like focus for me. So now every day I get up and I know exactly what it is that I'm doing, and I stick to my plan. And it's really powerful. It's working really well. So this is what you need to do too. When it's uncertain, you need to have a plan. You need to focus that energy, because it's very easy to focus your energy in the wrong direction. And that does nobody any good. So we want to keep your energy laser-like focused on what's important to you. The other thing that I'm finding is really useful for me is understanding your numbers. Obviously right now things are potentially challenging for so many people. Now, if you don't have a good understanding of what your financial position is, the different numbers that are coming in through your business, the key metrics that you need to run your business effectively, then this is going to challenge you. And I think when things are uncertain, if you do use the time to get more involved with your numbers, it can have a twofold effect. One, just how much trouble are you in? Or two, the fact that actually, do you know what? I'm comfortable, that I can breathe a little bit. There's probably just a couple of things that completely stress me out. Well, I say completely stress me out. I'm a very, very relaxed dude, but the things that do cause my blood pressure to rise a little bit, where there's financial pressure, and if there's problem with relationships somewhere, whether it's an intimate relationship with your kids, that kind of stuff, that's what causes me to lose sleep. So if I'm fully across my numbers, then I can then make decisions around those. So I've been spending more time every day just getting across my numbers to know, okay, this is where things are, this is what I need to do. And at the date of recording this, it's the 30th of July. I've got one more day where I need some very specific financial things to happen, so that will set me up for an awesome financial result in August. So I've got one more day to make sure some things happen. Then if they happen tomorrow, then boom, we are set. So that's an exciting prospect when you understand those, and it gives you, I guess, just more control around your mindset and what it is that you're doing. And it comes back to your plan, where you can focus that energy. So that's another thing that I think is really important. The other thing to focus on is where are you going? I guess this links back to your strategy as well. Where are you headed in these uncertain times? How are you tracking in these uncertain times? Because it's easy to get up and do a lot of nothing every day. And that's what I was finding for that. What frustrated me about the first week and a half was, I had to communicate again. It's like, oh man, that took so long to communicate with everybody last time. Ringing all the clients, whether it's email, whether it's messages, whether it's videos, all of those things that I had to do again to just keep people informed quickly, because people were panicking. I was getting all kinds of messages from people. Once I started to get more focused, that's when I knew, okay, now I know where I'm going, and I know how I'm tracking each day, because I've got my plan. I mark things off as they're done. I update the status of them. I communicate with my team to see, okay, how are these things going? So as of right now recording this, my team, I'm a little bit disappointed. They're behind in something that was promised to me 24 hours ago, and actually a week and 24 hours ago. It's just that because I've been distracted on some other important things that I'd forgotten to follow up and said, hey, hang on, what's going on here? And they said, oh yeah, we'll have that for you in 24 hours. Well, that 24 hours is now passed, and it's just annoying me. So I would have been on top of that better if I had have tracked this number or this particular piece of work earlier. But because I'm trying to do so many different things, that one slipped through the cracks for me. So because I'm focused, I know where I'm going, I know how I'm tracking, and I'm doing pretty well, but that one's fallen through the cracks, and I could do better on that. So that's something that I'm going to keep pushing through to make sure that we get a resolution ASAP. The other one that's really important, uncertain times, what people can do is forget about their health completely. Okay, their health, their fitness, forget about it completely, and can go to those old disempowering habits, which are maybe not eating, believe it or not, or when you do eat, it's making poorer choices. Maybe it's alcohol, maybe it's gambling, maybe it's drugs, maybe it's alcohol. I don't know, I just said that twice. All of these things have a detrimental impact. They're disempowering. They have negative connotations normally associated with them, and they don't help support your long-term health and fitness outcomes. And just about every single person that I talk to that has partaken in those activities always say that they feel worse afterwards. Yep, they look forward to it before, but they always feel worse afterwards. So we've got to find a way to break those patterns so that you don't initiate it in the beginning, and you can still make sure that you're focusing in the right direction. Now, it's really tough. I don't think that we've necessarily seen the toughest part of COVID yet, either economically or from a disease perspective. I think there's far worse to come. It's gaining more and more momentum around the world, I think. And that creates more uncertainty. And because it is a virus, and because we're about to hit we've passed the middle of winter. So we're in the home stretch of winter. But what happens on the other side of the world when it hits winter in many countries where it's a much colder climate than us, and COVID's there as well? Is that going to have an exponential impact on it? More uncertainty. So what do you need to do? Be more focused now, more than ever, on your immune system, building your strength, your health, your fitness, your wellness, because you probably do have a little bit more time to be focused on it right now, and just keep doing it. Look after yourself. No one else is going to look after you as much as you're going to look after yourself. It's, you've only got one body, you've got one shot at this. So, make the most of it. The other thing to look at is, are your relationships, all your relationships, where you want them to be right now? Whether it's arguably your most important relationship is your intimate relationship with your partner, your husband, your wife. That's probably the girlfriend, boyfriend. It's probably the most important one that you have on the planet, because you're probably spending a lot of time with them. You're sharing everything with them. You want to make sure that that's in a good position. And I know there are lots of relationships right now that are really feeling the pinch because of the additional strain that there is throughout the world, throughout the household. Maybe one person has had hours cut, maybe one's lost a job, maybe both have lost a job. Maybe you're in fortunate situations, but there's resentment because one's earning more than another when it's normally the other way around, because one's had hours cut or something. It's a challenging time. So we've got to just kind of work on those relationships as well. Relationships with your kids. I think I'm building stronger relationships with my kids right now because I'm spending more time with them. We're homeschooling, we're having more fun, more laughter. I'm getting to know more about their daily work, and that's really good. I'm building stronger connections with clients as well. But there are certain relationships that I'm yet to develop, so working on building more relationships, that I'm not happy with where my work effort is going into creating those. So again, uncertain times, work on the relationships that are important to you and make sure they're where you want them to be. And if they're not, work on them. Spend time working on them. The last point is this can create a whole lot of stress for you. Uncertainty is just that. It creates issues, but it also creates opportunity. And with opportunity comes this great sense of achievement and possibility and fun, if you want to look at it that way. Unfortunately, most people think in uncertain times, I don't know what to do, I'm going to stress, I'm not going to enjoy it, I just want it to be over because I want to know every outcome that's ever going to happen. Now, if you did that, if you knew that, that would be very boring. Like if you knew that your life was going to turn out like a movie, exactly, and you knew what was going to happen when, you'd be bored out of your brain eventually. You might think, oh yeah, that'd be nice if I knew, oh well, yeah, I'm going to get to that point, that would be great. But remember, it's about who you become along the journey through uncertain times, through tough times, that really define who it is that you are. And that is where you get the growth. I think if you approach these things with a mind's eye of this is a great opportunity to achieve a whole bunch of things that you want to achieve in your life. And if you look at it from the perspective of, do you know what? Whatever it is that I'm doing in my life, I've got to make sure that I'm having fun. I've got to make sure that I enjoy the journey. It's like if you're doing a particular career and you hate it, then I would say, well, that's a mistake, because you're only going to do that for so long. And yes, there may be periods of time in your life where you have to suck it up and do something that's not necessarily ringing your bells all the time because you need the money or a situation. But ultimately, where the true passion and love in life is when you're doing the things that you really love. You have a lot of fun doing it, like me talking to you right now. I really enjoy this. The different relationships that I have, but in my heart and in my mind, I know that I'm having fun. Body transformations that I'm working with clients, the one that I'm doing for myself, I love it. I love the process. It's really a lot of fun for me. If it's not fun for you, it's only going to last so long. So I think if you start to get all these elements together, uncertainty can be so much fun. It can be so productive. It can be the best, richest, rewarding period of your life if you want it to be. If you focus on these things I'm talking about, and you can make anything happen. So if you want to find out how you can work more closely with me, you can go to thementaltoughnessandbodyshow.com, click on the link right at the bottom, and you can opt in for a free consultation. And I'd love to start having a conversation with you now so that we can take you from where you are to being unstoppable. Have a great day. Stay safe. I'll see you tomorrow.